Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Card Confessions. Guys, listen. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. This lady's gonna get listen. The people here in New York and the walking across the street, just no concept of like, let me see if this light that allows me to cross is even on. Right? Should I stop? That doesn't even happen. Like, it's just some of these people are just out here going for broke. God bless them. But anyway, I digress. How are you doing? What is happening in your world? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing, you know, all the things that are necessary to stay healthy and happy and all those things. Before I keep going, though, I wanted to ask, and I would love feedback on this. I'm thinking about starting a newsletter for the podcast, for Car Confessions, and for just the regular, I should say just the regular, but also for my Monday podcast recordings, whether it be with myself or, a guest. Let me know what you think. Should I start this email list or newsletter rather? I'll need an email list to get that going. So would love to hear from you. Email me at eatingmepodcast@gmail.com. You can hit me up through social media platforms, whatever. I would love to hear what you think. So I'm in the process of getting that going, and I would love to have some feedback and actually get this going. It would be so great to do something outside of what I'm doing with the podcast. I really would love to just have more of a community building approach. So this is something that I'm thinking about. So let me know what you think. Yeah. Guys, are we like we have to be in some type of TV show because this and I've said this for a while, but like between everything that happened at the Grammys, which listen, let's stop there because we got to talk about the Grammys. The Grammys, it was great, and I initially didn't want to watch it, but I was like, you know what, I need to see what's happening in the world of music because, for those who know me, I love music. Music is my thing. So watch the Grammys. So happy for Beyonce. Cowboy Carter is literally like one of the best albums ever. And I loved Renaissance too. Loved it. I've loved Beyonce for a while, but yeah, she just gets better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? And I should say she gets better and better and better. Just her craft. She has like mastered it in ways that's just like, wow, this is amazing. So happy for her. I'm not even going to all the ignorance of people, getting mad about her not being a country performer. Because, I'm not even going to give energy to that. She is a country performer. She is a country girl. She's from Houston, Texas. Her parents are from the South. What more do you need? You know what I'm saying? So we have people out here like Shania Twain, boldly from Canada, and no one has said a word about her country status and if she's worthy of being a country singer. So there's that. So no, kudos to Beyonce. So happy for her. She totally deserved that. And I can't wait for this concert, guys. Ready for the Cowboy Carter tour. I don't know if it's titled that. I don't know what it's titled yet. I haven't really had a chance to look and see what the hell's going on, but I am excited. I can't wait. I saw Renaissance here in New York as well as in Houston because I was like, I gotta see this in Houston. I don't know if I'm gonna do that again this year, but Renaissance had me in a chokehold, like major. So we'll see what happens. Also, we cannot go without talking about Mr. Kendrick Lamar. First of all, there were so many layers to Kendrick's whole situation being on the Grammys. We all know that he won off a diss track. Like, this is not even like a full blown like record or a song that he wrote just because of whatever. He wrote this because of his disdain for Drake. And I was just like, yo, if petty was in the dictionary and they needed someone's face, like, it's Kendrick Lamar. Because, and listen, I'm here for it. Like, I love it because I'm like, yo, you think you're petty, and then you meet people like Kendrick Lamar, and you're like, nah, I've not mastered that. Dude had on the Canadian tuxedo, which is basically a jean top and bottom. Like, he was doing all the things that would just make you think, wow, like, your petty is so calculated that it's like, it's just unmatched. It's completely and utterly unmatched. They're Not Like Us. Loved the song. Even though it was a diss track, it's still a great song, let's be serious. But, wow. Like, wow. He won 5 different Grammys for this one diss track. Like, how does that even happen, guys? Like, what? Yeah, so the Grammys are great. But at the same time, it's just like knowing all the things that are going on in the world, it's like, wow, right? And let me tell you something. I'm thinking about the things that are happening over in the Middle East. Still, Israel is just wreaking havoc over there and causing so many things. Even the night of the Grammys, there was things going on. And I'm just like, when are we going to come to a place where we are just able to coexist as humans and not want to just constantly be at war and at odds and want to take over things? Like, it blows my mind. It's insane. And so normally, all that to say, like, normally I would be like really attentive to that type of stuff as opposed to watching the Grammys. But I was like, you know what? I want to enjoy something, right? Because everything that we see that's going on with Trump being in office, and it's just like, I need some joy. I need something that's gonna make me happy. And so I watch the Grammys because, like I said, I love music, but I just don't understand. And then maybe it's just because it's just not a part of who I am as a person. The idea of colonization, the idea of supremacy, like, it just doesn't register for me. I mean, do we all have moments of feeling like, oh, I'm quote unquote better than somebody? Yes. But to the demise of people, to the erasure of people, that is something I don't understand. And willing to lie and cheat and deceive in the name of you being on top, it's beyond me. Like, it is literally, for me, it's like the craziest thing ever to have that type of mindset, because it's like, you're dangerous. Someone who has that type of thinking, like, you are a dangerous individual, because at the end of the day, regardless of, you doing these things, claiming white supremacy and wanting to be better than somebody, and, doing it in such a way that you're hurting that individual or these individuals, it's wild, because, like, where does that end? you know? Because it's one thing to, like, okay, I'm doing this against people that look different than me, that have a different, are part of the LGBTQ plus community or a different gender. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then when it gets to a point where it's like the people that, let me backtrack. So you can I can understand, not even understand, but I see the opposition of it, right? Like, okay, I don't like that person because of their skin color, whatever. But let's say that becomes an erasure moment where you just continue to erase all these people that are different than you. You still have this mentality of, like, wanting to be on top and being the successor. Like, once everyone is the same as you, do you stop? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, I think about that. Like, are people going to then, I mean, white men, let's be serious, are they going to stop at them? Like, okay, we've gotten rid of all the people that are different than us. Maybe they keep a few white women around for, shits and giggles. But, like, once they get it to where they want it to be, where it's this, I guess, quote unquote status quo, whatever the hell they want to call it. But, like, is that it? Like, then are they living in harmony? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, at all. It's the weirdest thing. And like I said, and it's obviously because I just don't have that mentality where I feel like I need to conquer and, do all these things that would then, make someone feel less than or whatever. And then on top of that too, guys, like, can you really get rid of all of these people, particularly people of color or people that are just marginalized in general? Can you really get rid of all of them? Because honestly, who's gonna do all the things for you, right? Because I just don't see white men out here just kicking it, being so independent that they're cooking, they're cleaning, they're going to work, they're managing kids at this point. Like, who knows? But, they're managing the kids. Let's just throw that out there, right? I just don't see that being the reality of these people. And then, okay, that happens, right? But then after a while, like, what's going to happen with your population? Like, it's just going to be just regular white people? Like, what? It's just, I don't know. I could just go down this rabbit hole for days and days. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any freaking sense whatsoever. And for that alone, it just seems so silly to me that this is where a lot of people have decided to die on that particular hill. It's like, really, guys? Really? And obviously, there's more forces that are involved, especially if you're a spiritual individual. You know, there's a lot of demonic things that are taking place as it relates to all this, right? It's just not like so cut and dry. Oh, you're white, you're black, and whatever. Like, we hate the opposing whatever, and so we're gonna suppress the black and brown people because why not? Like, there's more to it, Um, and that's a whole other podcast episode too. But it's just like, what are we doing? Like, literally, what? And it's like not so much what are we doing, because I just want to make it clear, be very clear. Most black and brown people are not in this drama as it relates to really having these battles of who's better, who's not, right? It's more so, from what I've experienced, more so it's the dilemma. I can't talk the dilemma of white people wanting to know, like, how to manage all of this racism and white supremacy and all the things that are just so evil in this world. It was so funny. I was watching a reel earlier, obviously on TikTok, as y'all know, love some TikTok. But I was looking at this reel, and it was a very brief one. You know, those ones that just kind of have you thinking because it's so quick. They give you the message. You're like, oh yeah. And so the guy says, none of this, meaning the what state of the country that we're in, this whole out of control situation with now Elon Musk thinking he's the president, and basically overthrowing the government, getting into classified files, the whole nine. I mean, y'all know. If you don't know, you need to turn on some type of media platform, and figure this out. He basically said, none of this would be happening if we would have just given black people reparations and their basic, like, equity and equality here in this country. And I'm completely paraphrasing. He didn't say it exactly like that, but that's basically what he said. He's like, none of this would be happening. Thumbs up. None of this would be happening if we would have received reparations and our fair share in this country. And to that, I say, yes, white guy, yes, you were right. Because honestly, a lot of the things, and I've said this so many times to people in the past, and like, Leesh, no, that doesn't make any sense. How is that possible? It's possible. The reason why this country is in the shape that it's in is because the idea of black people, and of course now brown people, but the idea of black people having an equal playing field in this country was so, like, ridiculous to the average, like, white person that was wanting to keep us suppressed. And I don't want to generalize every white person, let's be serious, but the crux of it was the idea of us having that ability to be equal, to receive reparations. It was like, no, we cannot do this. And like I said, that's a whole other podcast episode as to why this is even a thing. We have shitty healthcare. Education is going through the damn, it's going to hell in a handbasket. I mean, you name it. All the things that other countries have that are thriving and, beating us, left and right in terms of, like, competency on so many levels. It's because of the idea of black and brown people, more so black people, getting ahead of a white person. And that's another thing too for me that I just can't wrap my head around. The threat. I can't wrap my head around that. The threat of me or someone that looks like me, quote unquote, getting ahead of a white person. It's the craziest thing to me. Because and like I said, this is not every black person, but most black people and brown people just want to belong. Just want to have a safe place to live, just want to contribute to society and be in this country and love this country and be patriotic like anyone else. Literally. And it's unfortunate that it has taken so many years for most people to realize that, because we have been so demonized in the media and in other places and spaces. And now people are now realizing, like, oh, we were lied to. The quote unquote, catchphrase of propaganda. It was total propaganda around that, that we were just these bad people and we were out to, like, take everybody's jobs, or be these big bad criminals. We must be watched in stores. Like, I'm saying? Like, all these crazy things have been put in place by design. And now here we are all these years later, and America is beyond falling apart. Like, beyond. And it's all because of ignorance like this. And to that, like, it's sad. But honestly, for me, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Are you stressed out about all this stuff? No, I'm not. Because this is the cry that most Black people have been screaming from the rooftops to the rest of the world. Like, guys, wake up. This country is, not what you think it is. And we are being treated like crap. And that's putting it lightly. And if you don't start standing up now, it's going to happen to you. And this has been years in the making. Years, okay? And now here we are, where everything that has been said over all these years is now coming to pass. And now so many people are losing their shit and going bananas over it. And listen, feel your feelings. I'm not discrediting people's feelings, but at the same time, looking to me for answers or asking me, how are you feeling? I mean, do what you do, whatever. But it's just like, I don't think you're going to get the response that you are expecting, for at least from me. I can't say for every Black person, but for me, you're not going to get this, oh, I'm in despair, oh my gosh, what was me? This is just another day in America for Black people. This is what it's like, friends. This is what Black people have been trying to tell you since the get-go. I love that. I love that term, the get-go. But it's true. This is it. And now that you're feeling it, it's just so overwhelming. It's just like, yeah, it doesn't feel good. It has never felt good, guys. It's crappy, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do we get out of this? I'm going to be completely honest. The get out of this is going to actually call for white people to get their shit together and start calling each other out and saying, hey, I'm not dealing with this shit, and we need to figure this out as a collective. I can't say that Black people are not, I mean, there are going to be some Black people that are willing to help and, fight the good fight. Personally, the jury's out for me on this. I'm going to be honest. Because honestly, at the same time, it's like, now that you're feeling the fire, we come in and say we help, whatever. Captain Save-A-Hose over here, we do this, and then are we back to business as usual, where you're treating us as if we're, nobodies again, and, we don't matter in this country? You see what I'm saying? It's like, at what point do we gain full trust that it's going to be okay for us here, in the event that Black people come in and start, providing some type of help or assistance? Guys, total side note here. This girl was on a car that was not hers, just sitting on it. And the guy got in the car and blew at her. Hilarious. Anyway, yeah. So it's something to think about, guys. And everybody's different. This is just me. This is Leesh in my car, just processing. But, pray for this country. Pray that we, everything doesn't completely just blow up in flames. But if it does, it might create like some type of phoenix situation where we rise from the ashes. I don't know. Who knows? But in the midst of it all, let's find the joy, let's find the happiness, and let's treat each other like we have some damn sense. Seriously. That's the takeaway. If anything, treat people like you have some damn sense. Treat people the way you'd want to be treated. The girl just sat back on the car. Maybe this is her car. Who knows? Anyway, yeah. Let's start treating people kinder. Not being nice, because you see where nice has gotten us. But just be kind. Be honest. Be willing to be a kind person. That's just it, guys. All right, I'm gonna run in the store. Got some shit to do. But like I always like I always say, guys, let's just keep on keeping on. We're all doing the best we can at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We're doing the best we can. All right, guys. I love you. And listen, I'll see y'all next week. All right.